Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I want to give you a simple guide on how you can learn to draw anything. You don't need any special skills or talent for drawing or sketching when you start, and it just takes a bit of practice and the desire to learn. My approach to learning how to draw is that even if you have no idea how to do this, then you can get really decent after a while if you learn the basic concepts and techniques and if you practice regularly. So let's take a look at these steps now. It's always a good idea to get warmed up a bit and to get comfortable with your tools. And a warm-up is also a great way to loosen up your drawing muscles and bring your thoughts to the page. By playing with different mark-making techniques, you will see what you can do with your pencil or pen. So grab your drawing tool and start to make different marks. Line work can be so incredibly varied, so make scribbles, doodle around, create dots and stipples or hatching or zigzag lines. Really explore the range of your drawing tool. Also try varying pressure and remember to have fun with this. It's important to keep your practice enjoyable and playful, otherwise you will stop. To take this exploration a step further, let's train your hand-eye coordination a bit. So take your pencil and practice drawing a few straight and curved lines, long ones and short ones, and don't worry so much about doing this in the right or the wrong way, it's just a warm-up. And then draw a few round shapes like circles and ellipses and try out some loose shapes too, like lying eights. Vary the size and also vary the pressure of your pen. And see what changes if you try drawing with your entire arm. This means locking the elbow and locking the wrist joint and making motions directly from the shoulder joint. So try and see what will give you the smoothest arcs. And fill a page with these explorations, and remember, keep it fun and playful. If you feel bored, then you don't need to continue, but try to notice how your hand feels now. Are you more comfortable with the pencil? After our warm-up, let's start properly with drawing. Let's look at what is the basis for all drawing skills. Essentially, you can break down everything you want to draw into basic shapes. And basic shapes are circles, we already practiced those, rectangles and triangles. If you can draw these basic shapes, and I'm pretty sure you can do this, then you can essentially draw anything. So how does this work? When you look at an object in real life, all you need to do is figure out how you can break it down visually into easier to manage basic shapes and put those down on paper. So you might look at a rose or a house or a bird and figure out how to reduce them to those basic shapes. You will see it's much easier to draw a circle with a triangle attached and refine that than to attempt to understand all of the complex angles and shapes of a bird's head in a split second. You can use those basic shapes as a loose underdrawing. So for this, we'll start with the very light line work and rough shapes that we can refine to a more specific structure, more defined shapes in a second step. You don't need to focus on perfect lines or shadows or details in this stage, that can all come later. These kind of gestural drawings are often very loose and spontaneous. They're great for warming up and getting down the essence on the paper. In the second step, you will want to refine what you have drawn through a solid outline. Again, observing what you draw is much more important than actually placing the line in the end. Drawing is as much about observing and learning to see as it is about laying down lines. So take your gesture drawing as a basis and check all the angles and edges against your subject. See where you need to make minor adjustments or major adjustments. Observe the angles, shapes and curves of your subject. Travel around the contour and be mindful about the proportions you've already explored. Are they true to what you've drawn? If not, you can make your corrections now. Again, observe closely before you place your line. Really notice what your subject looks like and try to draw what you see and not what you think you see. That's a big difference. You can also use your pencil as a measuring help. If you match an angle on your subject with your pencil, it's much easier to translate this to the paper. And often you will draw several loose lines in the first explorative stage, and now's the time to decide on one definite contour line and define it with a more solid line. Before we finish our drawing, let's step back for a moment. You now have a loose underdrawing with basic shapes that have been refined with a more solid contour and a few defining angles and edges. That's not bad so far. At this stage, it can be helpful to just produce a lot of quick drawings to practice what you've learned. So grab an object and draw it with lots of quick gestural sketches from different angles. Try to get your hand to a stage where it seems easy to see a line and transfer it to the paper. You want this to become a fluid process, and this will take a bit of time, but it's important to become comfortable with this kind of hand-eye coordination. You will want to make many quick drawings, not one perfect drawing at this stage. So how do you practice this in the best way? I find shorter sessions over several days will give you better results than one long session once per week. And these basics may seem very simple and mundane in a way, but they're really important for learning how to draw. Over time, these techniques will really become second nature to you, and you won't even think about them a lot. You will want to know how you can finish your drawing, right, and make it look really nice. So at this point you will want to make your sketch a bit rounder, a bit more finished. So do not proceed to this step when your basic framework and the right proportions aren't in place. Rather make another drawing or correct the one you have. It's fine to simply start over. You don't need to do a lot of erasing, simply make another drawing. So in this last step you can add contrast, light and dark areas, and a bit of detail like textures in a few places. And all of these are techniques for themselves that can be practiced, and in any case I'd like to caution you not to overdo it with the details. So you just want to have a few places with more details and textures. This is where you will sort of lead the viewer's eye. Think back to the mark making exercise from step 1 and remember the different marks and lines your pencil can produce. So dots or lines, hatching, broken up lines, varied lines. Try to think what kind of texture will be most fitting for the thing that you're drawing and add a bit of detail sparingly, not all over. As for contrast and shadows, the same concept applies. Add darker areas to show volume here and there, but don't overwork your sketch. I know this is a lot of fun and hard to stop, but you only need a few accents in your drawing to make it look finished. For adding loose shadows, you can squint slightly to see the values a bit easier. And this is basically it. This is the process for drawing. So first you start with basic shapes, light lines, find the right proportions. Second step, you refine your lines, check the angles, add some solid outlines. And third, you add detail and texture, shadows and highlights. And that's really all there is to it, just a few simple steps. So the key to getting good at drawing is to practice a lot over time. You really need to get in your pencil miles until this process becomes second nature to you. So practice a lot and start building your habit maybe by putting a note somewhere so you don't forget about it. If you'd like an extended written version of this video as a reminder for your practice, I have a full PDF guide on learning how to draw on my website for free. So just sign up for my blog newsletter and you will get the PDF and a bunch of other useful things for sketching. You can also follow along with my nature sketching adventures on my blog. I frequently share sketching tips and new videos on my blog, so if that's something you enjoy, then give it a look. Let me add a quick word about mistakes. So mistakes will happen. They're part of this entire process. Don't get too hung up about mistakes because they will actually help you learn and make your next drawing better. I understand that we all want this to come easy, but the hand needs time to understand these concepts. And you will need to build muscle memory, and this means working through mistakes and learning from them. So try not to feel too frustrated about mistakes and try to trust the process. This is what it looked like for Leonardo to learn drawing, and this is what it looks like for the rest of us too. So expect and try to embrace your mistakes. They're really no big deal at all, and they will help you along the way to become a better sketcher. This video and the tips in it are a great start, and they will hopefully keep you busy practicing for a good while. And if you're ready for more, there are many more advanced drawing techniques, and understanding those will help you to really get good at drawing. Learning concepts like seeing in 3D volumes, perspective, values, light and shadow, and foreshortening will really advance your skills and help you to create fully rounded drawings. And if you want to understand and apply these concepts and get really well-rounded drawing skills, then take a look at my course Sketching Fundamentals. This course is a foundational drawing class that will guide you step for step and teach you all the principles of drawing. I offer the course as a guided version with direct feedback from me on your assignments, or if you prefer learning on your own, you can take the course in your own pace and start immediately. You can learn more about the course in the link below. So that's it for the marketing segment. I really hope this video was helpful to you and that drawing seems less of a mystery now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.